Hey Virgos, this is Damien with HK Readings, Healing Culture Tarot, and I'm actually here to do your May 2019 General Love Reading. Can you believe that? If you are Virgo, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and or Jupiter, stay tuned. I have some pretty interesting messages for you here. Now take the messages as they apply, and keep in mind that the messages may also represent the cross watchers. So cross watchers, you're definitely welcome to this video. Of course, I will be reading from the perspective of the Virgo. However, with taking messages as they apply, you know your situation. So to be honest, let's go ahead and kick this off. What you have crowning is the card of Yansa, which is the card of Oya. So right now, Virgo, you are really in the midst of immense change. I think a lot of the change is going on not so much noticeably in your surroundings yet, but slightly because of the changes that you've made from within, especially after we enter this new moon in Taurus. It's almost like, how do I put this? It's kind of like, making yourself by dint of courage. There's a lot of fighting and willpower and tenacity, and your thoughts are quick. I don't feel like you're allowing any disagreement at the moment. You're moving forward at a very fast rate because of these changes that you've made. It's almost just like you're ready to go and get them. Really ready to go and get them. Kind of talks about finding it difficult to become rooted to one place or one situation because you love change so much. You're starting to just not want to be tied down anymore, and many of you have been. So this is coming from not wanting to be tied down anymore and like ready to take the world by storm and pretty ready to live this new life of your transformation, which is excellent. There was some sadness in some past because of some loss, some things that you had to let go of. The size card opposed to the melancholy or sorrow lets me know that this was the decision that you did make, okay, to move beyond something. Now, it could be more than just love that you moved away from through these transformative times, moving homes, careers, things that you really did feel a tie to. But this being a love reading, and with other cards that I do see surrounding, there is an emphasis on that aspect of your life as well, Virgo. The person that you've been dealing with, and I saw this in other readings for y'all, it made you very physically and mentally ill, I don't feel like it was easy to get a grasp on things and be as sharp as you are now coming into the Yansa energy. I feel like many of you just may have been so fatigued, so tired, various things popping up medically. A recovery is in sight when we look at the malady card, so I'm not seeing anything too severe, but I am seeing the physical manifestations of the shit that you were dealing with. So when we have this wife card, it's interesting that as you look towards the future, you're aware of all the baggage you have, but it's not necessarily baggage. It's like you're aware of all the lessons that you've learned, and you're not so much looking to get rid of what you went through. You want to incorporate it into your life because you understand how it's empowering you. I feel as though what you're getting rid of, though, are the sentiments of the person or whoever was a part of delivering this message to you. Now, as we talked about before, the great love coming to you, if you had seen the video, any of you who would be watching this, it was actually my highest viewed, highest liked video to date. And I have to thank y'all, Virgos. It is over 1.9 thousand views, which is really big for me, being so new on YouTube and slowly but surely getting more exposure. Like, y'all really did that, and I appreciate it. And also ups to the cross watchers, because I'm sure some of that was y'all too. Probably the two people that disliked it were cross watchers. No tea, no shade. I just feel like if it's your sign and it's not your message, then move along. You would naturally move along. And then if it is your message but you don't like what you hear, like, I still don't see like that sign like doing the disliking. But who knows? Let's see. One thing I need to do. Oh, girl, I don't know how to. Hold on, y'all. Do not disturb. I just got the iPhone XR and I'm figuring out how to work this damn thing because, it's a little different from the 7 Plus. Actually, quite. So the phone is on Do Not Disturb. Yay. Now, when we talk about this person that's coming in for you, we see the Two of Cups. Now, let me tell you a little bit about this person, Virgo. We talked about your great love that was coming in and just, oh my God, the things that are waiting for you within this relationship. Now, we have more Cups energy with the Two of Cups, which talks about the time and the season that y'all will come together. So for those of you who know this person, and it's taking it to the next level, for those of you who are meeting this person and it's jumping off to the next level, because I feel like this Yansa energy could also be symbolic of how your relationship life is changing. As within, so without, right? So as you've been healing yourself and getting yourself emotionally balanced and mentally balanced, you have these rapid changes that come in and shake up your relationship world, and it brings you someone who, from what I see, would naturally want to come in very fast. And I think they are the same place that you are, or will be in May, if you haven't met this person yet, where you're just ready to take off and get it done. But what we also have behind the scenes is somebody who may not immediately act on those feelings, okay? After the Two of Cups, we've got the Four of Discs, the Fall of Granada, and the Sibyl. So basically, and to tell you, that's the Two of Cups, the Four of Pentacles, the Tower, and the High Priestess, okay? For those of you more familiar with traditional tarot, this is Tarot of the Moors. This is somebody who, and let me, because it's going to tie in. And then over here we have the Three of Swords with the Malika of Cups, who translates to the Queen of Cups, a Message from Water, and the Cheerfulness card from the Sibylla deck. So basically what this is telling me is this is a person who, for one, has experienced immense heartbreak, okay? And I'm going to say the type of heartbreak that you resonate with because you really went through the ringer with this last person, but it's some shit that you might not even know how much this person has had to go through to get to the point where they are leading themselves to you, where they have finally made it to you, as y'all are both traveling on this journey. And yeah, y'all are saying Damien, vice versa. I get it, but no. This person has had a really tough time, and if anything, it may have been tougher than yours because I feel like they had a harder time having an outlet for it, having an escape for it, finding balance in it. It took them a lot more, male or female, okay? So one thing I will say is as you come about this relationship, definitely give credit where it's due, even if it's not outright. Understand in your actions the credit should be, kind of given when somebody's trying to keep it real with you. Or showing you what's real. Now, furthermore, though, it has had this person really kind of shy off from relationships for a while and try to focus on their coin. That's been their big ordeal. Now, what's happening for them is a tower moment within the Fall of Granada, because this is a person who has actually become very established on their own in whatever they're doing. This isn't a new journey for them, okay? I feel like they went through a lot of shit maybe for a longer period, and maybe they've had a longer journey of being established from that, but not having love in their life, right? Because, they haven't been focused on that. They're focused on their money. They're focused on jumping up to the next career level, business startups, investing, 401k annuities. They're trying to travel and see what they can get into abroad, really trying to spread their seeds. That's what they've been dealing with as of late. Then we have this tower moment where something hits and it brings back the energy of Yansa, where we see this immense change in energies and things coming down so they can be rebuilt from the ashes. Oya, the mother of the cemetery. We have very similar messages within the crowning card in the Fall of Granada. But this Fall of Granada card has basically shaken things up to where when we, because there are secrets to be revealed within the Sibyl. It's telling me directly that there are secrets to be revealed and you don't know all. So, with this person, you may feel as though you're starting to get their number because they're doing this or doing that or acting a certain way, and you've been around the block and you think you've got their number, Virgo. Don't be so sure, okay? Because again, when it comes to the levels and depths of this heartbreak and what this person has gone through and why they are so held tight with their emotions, looking for somebody to let it flow, but you really have to get to that deep point with them, like those things will come about. And that's what May is going to be all about. So you really have to give patience there. But what's it gonna be is that either upon meeting you, and if y'all have already met, like getting to that point where they just realize it's like this crazy fucking drastic aha moment. You can't see it too many more times on the board. With these two cards, it's enough said. Where they realize that they are kind of being put in between, like it's a decision that's kind of having to be made. You know, no matter what the message of water brings for me in a reading, because it's always different things, it's funny how it generally does kind of tie down to a level of decision making and not just so much the various forms of balance. Because the decision comes in where they're having to kind of revamp everything they've done on that solo dolo tip, because they want somebody, but they're figuring out like, damn, how do I incorporate this person into my life? So they're also trying to watch you, because the mystery that comes with the High Priestess is right now striking me as how they're watching you to see if you fit the bill, because they don't mind. Again, when we had the Malik of Cups in y'all's last reading, and you're coming up as the Malika right here in the very next reading. They are looking for someone to give that cup to. And the Malika is right here holding a cup, smiling, because this is y'all. This is y'all coming together between two separate readings, okay? But it's like, and they don't mind giving away that cup, but if they're going to do it, they want to be sure, because I don't think that they can take much more of the heartbreak of the games. And with y'all coming from the same avenue on that, it's like things will turn out soon to be a no-brainer, you know? Whatever you think will be a standstill or anything that's holding you back, it just won't be like that for very long as there is faith and patience. And, you know, sometimes patience doesn't take too long. It's funny because I literally just thought of this, you know, I like dig deep into my brain, and I'm like, I'm a Taurus Sun, Gemini Moon, and I'm like, you know, hey, I try to pull messages from everything to inspire myself, or things that people would say to me to try to motivate and to boost. And one of the things that was like, even before I decided to even do this reading today, because I was going to take a break today because it was my day off, I was, you know, setting up my XR, and I was redoing a password for one of my apps or whatever, because I forgot that shit because I had to wipe the old phone. And you know, when you sign in with your password, they have a strength level, and it'll go up through the three colors, like red, yellow, green, for example. And I was thinking, and I knew my password was long, but I'm typing my password, and I get like more than fucking 3/4 through it. I got like a little over half, close to 3/4 before it was finally like, it went from weak to okay. And then I typed like the last bit, which was like 2 or 3 more letters, or like 2 more letters in a symbol. And it literally went like from okay to good, just like that. And the message that I got from that is that, like, you know, because I wreck my brain a lot on how hard things may be. Oh my God, this is so hard. What's it going to take? I see the end goal, but I don't know how I'm going to get there. And you just keep going, because as I kept typing the password, you see, like, it didn't take much at all before you're from like weak, moderate, good. You know what I mean? But we don't always see that because we try to add this practical value to things. Virgo, you're a very practical sign. So think of that example of how quickly that meter went up in the password just from adding 1 or 2 more letters. And it just changed the game. And now it's acceptable. And now it's good. Now it's green light. Now it's where it needs to be. And these small things that you experience in your everyday life can be those messages for you to help you carry on. All right. But yeah, this person definitely sees you as their Queen of Cups, male or female, as they were standing and still standing in the energy of the King of Cups. Doesn't have to come up in this reading. I see it because we have the King and the Queen of Cups and the Two of Cups, if y'all do need that visual. Let me go ahead and get into your goddess guidance here. We've got Coventina purification. It is time for a cleansing detoxification of body and mind. Sedna, infinite supply. You are supplied for today's and all of your tomorrows. Sage, quiet time. Take some quiet time alone to rest, meditate, and contemplate. So basically, this is what's needed on both ends, and this is also what's bringing you together. The levels of purification that we've talked about that have been experienced between the two of you, it's part of what's bringing you together. And when you talk about being supplied for today and all of your tomorrows, it's letting you know to not worry about the in-between because you're going to get there. And you don't know how many tomorrows it's going to take. It could be that very next one. But do you believe and will you persevere? Of course you will. But here's, just a little oomph for you, Virgo. But yeah, meditate, continue to meditate, continue to get your mind right, continue to center and stay balanced, because with everything that's going into transiting into Taurus, if you look at astrology from literally today until the 8th, everything that's transiting into Taurus, it's really going to be about grounding and reflecting and getting into that inner niche of yourself, because though this relationship is coming to you, the lack of focus on that and more so of yourself is what has been attracting you to it in the first place. So that needs to continue, because y'all are going to be mirroring each other. And while you're building, they're building, and then there's just this boom, this moment where you meet each other, or that spark is, ignited if you've already known each other. Okay? And that's really what I've got for you. And I really hope that you take this reading and the last one and put them together, because it's just more affirmations about how it's getting close to the time, y'all. We got tower moments. Basically 2 tower moments from Oya to the fall of Granada. But basically this is saying that this is the part where you start to realize that this is about understanding this person's story to get to that cup, to get that love, for this individual to give you what they seek to, and for you to have what you want. Wondering how somebody could just be into you this fucking much. This is the most charming individual, the most loving individual, the most passionate individual, they listen, they're considerate of your time, all of these things, and you're gonna see how real and raw it is. And they're gonna be so goddamn vulnerable with you. But you gotta make sure that you're 100, so you're not bringing any old baggage, so you can kind of, how when we get into those moments where we get into something new and we kind of step on something in the new sense because of how the old hurt us, and we couldn't really do that with that situation, but now we got that little petty moment of a thumbs up through an argument or whatever with this person who's really good to us because we got some old karma off our chest or something. None of that, okay? We all are rolling into May looking as solid as ever. I love y'all, Virgos.